Nike. So with both, I mean, so I own Crocs, which is very different, and Deckers, which is not very different. So Deckers is basically 50% Uggs, which people are familiar with, and at this point, that's more of just like a brand that they slap on things. I mean, there's the Ugg boots, of course, but the blankets, stuff like that, just means soft, cozy things, really comfy stuff for girls generally.
Hmm.
My wife loves it, and then Decker, or then Hoka, which is a running shoe, and so Nike, they so I'm a runner and I kind of got into running shoes over the last couple of years. Since COVID, I started becoming more of a distance runner. And Nike, they absolutely dominate the high end. So like the whoever wins the marathons this year, they're going to be wearing those Nike 4%, whatever they're called, shoes with the carbon fiber plate. Those are like $350 shoes. I'm sure people buy them for the 5Ks. They really don't need them, but for the most part, unless you're like a very serious runner, it's a good brand sign that Nike wins those races, and that's great. After that, to me, I mean, it's still the coolest brand, that check mark, but they don't. I don't really see where they fit anywhere else because they're not. If you go on any like running shoe site, they sit kind of right in the middle with everybody else. On, you're going to get recommended Brooks, you're going to get recommended Hoka, you're going to get recommended Asics sometimes. I mean, there's On will be there for like more of a gym shoe, but it's not unclear to me where they sit as to why would I recommend a Nike? What Nike am I recommending? You kind of just go based on how it looks and you're trying to look cool. So like if you want a sneaker to wear out to like a happy hour or something, Nike's probably your bet if you're wearing a sneaker. Um, Great. I don't know a ton about basketball shoes, so maybe if you're playing basketball or working out, then maybe Nike has a position there. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah,
It's still
their position in basketball is a lot stronger than in running. A lot
okay.
stronger. Yeah.
So I'm unfamiliar there, but even that, how many people are buying basketball shoes? The running market has to be a lot bigger. And then with On kind of seems like the trendy. It's a new trendy brand, and it does kind of remind me of Under Armour. It's very cool. It because of the holes, it's very distinctive from far away. If you're kind of a stylish person who wants to work out, people do like them. So I know they get great reviews. So they stand out on that front. Pricing wise, I think they're at the higher end of a normal shoe for working out. Um, Outside of that, I don't really know what they're great for besides in terms of pure performance, but they do look good. People like wearing them and they stand out. So like you can see that it's an On shoe. I don't know if people are going to be like On shoe wearers forever or if this is like just the new brand that they're like people love. There's an emotional attachment to that swoosh. Just Do It was a powerful campaign. Jordan was not jumping in, anything. He was wearing a Nike swoosh. So and you have that in your head. So yeah, so again, it's a good brand. We'll see. It's a tricky world to navigate. So like Under Armour you brought up in 2015 or 16 maybe. I woke up one morning, the stock was down like 45% and I got excited because it is a good brand, and I grabbed the 10K and I read through it, and their inventory management was just an absolute mess. And the 10K was actually good. I mean, it spelled out what the problems were, and they were serious problems, which I don't know what you would do to fix it, and they really haven't fixed it yet. So, On kind of, I'm not saying they're in that position because Under Armour was also doing some illegal things with their accounting, but as well as some other cultural issues. But I'm not quite sure where On sits. Hoka, I was a little more comfortable with and I purchased because Hoka basically means cushion. So there's only one type of Hoka shoe, and it's a cushioned shoe. So if you have knee problems, I can recommend a Hoka to you. If you're new to running and you want to have something soft or you're going to stand on your feet all day, I can just recommend a Hoka. You can't really recommend a Nike or an On because you need to recommend a specific make and model, or like a New Balance. There's specific make and models that'll work for you. Hoka, you can just say, like just get a Hoka and it's going to have cushion in it. Is that necessarily good for you? That's a whole separate thing. But the brand means cushion. And so I like that position because a lot of people, in the market, I like that brand position because you can just recommend it. You can just say, Brooks means running shoe. If you just need a whatever running shoe, you get a Brooks shoe. You're good. So I'm not sure where On sits in that and how to like just say go get an On shoe. I mean, if it's just a gym cross trainer, I guess maybe any of them would work, or a tennis shoe. Um, Maybe it's more powerful, but that's when I kind of got comfortable with the Hoka brand. Also, not to mention the highest margin shoes and most expensive shoes, you pay for cushion in running. So they also sell higher margin, big, shoes. So it's a good position to be in. Um, so yeah, so I guess that's kind of my take from someone that just works out and looks at the shoes.